Yep. Back here. I know rain's rain and weather is weather, but how deflating is it going through an experience like that today, preparing to play a side like India, only for it to fall apart in such a sodden way?
Yeah, it would have been lovely to play. I mean, it's always tough mentally, I think, on a day like this when you come down prepared to play and it doesn't happen. But as you said, it's out of our control. We can't really do much about it, so we've got to move on quickly now for South Africa.
Is there anything structurally you'd like to see done differently to help smooth the way if weather is a factor in future tournaments, such as reserve days or the ability to move games and things of that nature?
Look, I mean, reserve days I think is going to be a logistical nightmare probably. The ICC I think have made that fairly well known. Unfortunately, I think it's a bit of an anomaly really when you look at the amount of days we've lost already. I think it's the biggest sort of amount of days lost in a World Cup ever. So we can't do much about that. We just have to, I guess, push on with what the schedule is.
Gary, how much does it hurt knowing that you'd be prepared to strike after what you did in the warm-up game, and I guess you sort of had found the measure of India, perhaps despite losing the series over summer?
I'm not sure we found the measure of India necessarily.
When the ball moved.
I think the warm-up games were a chance for us to get back together as a team, but we were acutely aware that had no bearing on what was going to happen today. But as I said, we would have loved to have played India today, and I mean, they're obviously going hot, and we feel as though we're playing reasonably well as well, so it would have been a really nice match-up.
Does that mean you can perhaps hold something back for a potential semi-final encounter down the track that you haven't used up all your wares?
Look, I think if you want to go through and play a semi-final or make the final, then you're going to have to play all the teams, and you're going to have to beat those teams as well if you want to win it. So I'm not sure we've necessarily hold anything back at all, but it just means we haven't struck each other in this tournament.
As the support staff, how do you deal with this? I mean, how do you keep there's such a breakdown in momentum and everything, team was winning. As a support staff, how do you keep things going?
Well, to be honest, the first thing we're going to do is have a couple of days off. We don't play again for about 6 days now, and I think it's important that you manage your breaks. And whilst we haven't played, we've still prepared, and so everything you do in your days before is about preparing to play still. So it's quite ironic. I think our last 4 trainings have all been indoors, so it's just what we have to deal with. And I guess our team, we try and pride ourselves on our adaptability, so we have to again be adaptable.
Given how confident you were of winning this game, do you reflect on it as a point gained or a point lost?
Look, it would have been lovely to play for 2 points if possible. I think it's too early in the tournament to know if this is going to be influential or not in the long run of things. So we know we still have to play good cricket against all the teams that we come up against, and South Africa is next on the agenda for us now, so we have to let this one go very quickly and move on to that.
Hi, my question is, because of the way that do you think teams who have started well early in the tournament, it's an advantage for them, teams who have started well?
Well, we have to play everyone, so at some stage I think the only real luck that comes into it is things like washout games and things like that how many you have, does that have an influence at the end? But at the end of the day, we want to be able to play for 2 points against every team, and then it's a real measure of where we're at as a team as well.
Do you think that a week rained out like this will discourage the ICC, or has the potential to discourage the ICC from holding major events in, well, this country, but also New Zealand?
I don't think so. I mean, if you took the UK summer from last year, then I'm not sure it did rain at all from the sound of things. But so I mean, it's a bit of bad luck, really. But it can rain anywhere in the world. I mean, my first tour was in Dubai, and it rained there and in the desert, and I never thought it was going to rain there either. But so I mean, I don't think we can really help that.
You spoke about preparing for the days off. Could you give us a sense of what the team is going to be doing over the next 6 days?
Yep. So Tomorrow's a travel day to Birmingham. We try and give our guys the chance, if they wish with their families or that, to travel outside and sort of get a wee bit of downtime. So the next 2 days will be their own, essentially. And then the lead into the South Africa game, then we will do our normal, the way we go about preparing for the game. We'll scout the opposition. We'll have our 2 trainings beforehand with a view to playing South Africa and Edgbaston. And sorry, I don't even know what day it is, but in about 6 days' time.
Thanks, guys. Cheers.
Thank you.
See, I'm the rainy day option.
See that? Here, see that? Here. Spectators are pretty frustrated. What about the players and the support staff?
I mean, yeah, it is frustrating to wait in the dressing room on a rainy day, but that's a challenge for the players and the support staff to switch down, but not really switch off, because you know the match could start anytime. So mentally keep yourself prepared at the back of the mind. At the same time, not think too much and not think too much about the game, and keep yourself a little busy reading some music or chatting with friends. Yeah, but with eye on the weather all the time.
Not really an ideal game before a big match like Pakistan for India?
I mean, it's an uncontrollable, isn't it? We really can't control the weather. So, yeah, we've had 2 good games. We came here looking forward to the 3rd good one. But unfortunately, we can't control the weather. We went out on the ground. I went out on the ground. It was almost like a skating rink. So I know it would put too much risk on the players to play on this, especially at the early phase of the tournament.
In this cold and this weather, we saw in the Pakistan game yesterday, a couple of catches were dropped because of just the coldness the players were saying. So do you have any specific, do you guys keep a hand warmers or something? What is the way, how do you even train a player to catch in the cold and get used to a cold and stuff like that?
Good question. I thought hand warmers is obviously the first option to keep your hands warm. Also, if you're running around in the ground between overs or between field positions and throwing the ball around to the players, that also keeps you warm between overs and doesn't allow your body to cool down. Also, we practice in the same weather, so that also gives us a heads up. And I think they're all professional cricketers, supposed to be the best in the world. They always make their best effort to catch a cricket ball, but then the nature of the beast is such that you catch someone, you drop some. So it's part of the game.
Sridhar, just want to know that like Shikhar Dhawan, Sanjay Bhai yesterday said around 12 days it will take for him to assess, and after that probably he'll do the nets and everything. Like one part of it is batting, whether he's comfortable or not while batting. Like as a fielding coach, like if you give your okay, like what are the aspects after this kind of an injury when he's catching the ball? What are the things that you look at and you give the feedback to the head coach or the captain about his fitness? Like when he's coming back from a hand injury, like what are the things that you look at?
I mean, yeah, once we assess him probably on 10th or 12th day, we'll have to look what is more. It's his bottom hand while batting, if I'm not mistaken, and it's not even his dominant hand because he's a right-hander, so it's not his dominant hand as well. So, I mean, throwing wouldn't be a problem, but definitely the impact while fielding and catching, especially he's a slip fielder. If you notice, he stands in the slips in the initial phase of the inning, so that can be an issue. So we'll have to test him out probably with some lighter balls first, and then gradually move on to the cricket ball, see how he goes. But yeah, that will be a challenge.
Hi. Pakistan is not known to be a great fielding side. You think fielding could be vital in the next match?
Fielding, I would say, is vital in every match. Yeah, I mean, we saw that in a shot at the Oval on Sunday when we played Australia. Although we had a big total on the board, we had to field out of our skins to defend that total. So in this World Cup, the format is so good that every game is vital, and that is where we have to be on top of the game. Yeah, and I think we should look to outfield our opponents, not only in the next game, but also in all games. And we respect our opponents to do the same. So we should go out there with our best intensity as possible.
When Rishabh Pant joins up, comes over here, will he play a full role in the fielding drills straight away?
He's not here yet, is he?
No, when he arrives.
So we'll take the call once he joins the team or once the decision is taken on Shikhar Dhawan. Then obviously he's a wicketkeeper, we all know that. So I think we'll cross the bridge when we get to it.
How do you assess the Indian fielding side? What do you make of the resources at your disposal?
I think I'm very happy with the kind of resources I have. We have a terrific slip catcher and safe catcher in Rohit, and we have 2 guys, Virat and Jaddu, who are very intimidating to the opposition. They can intimidate any batsman when they are prowling in the 30-yard ring. And to complement that, we have a Vijay Shankar and a Hardik Pandya who can really up the ante when needed. We have safe catchers in our fast bowlers. So, and we saw, I mean, these are all the usual suspects, but we saw Chahal and Bumrah crank it up in the last game, diving after bowling long spells. Even in the penultimate ball of the inning, we saw Chahal diving and stopping runs. So that augurs well. The biggest thing which came out to me was the attitude of the fielders, where they put the team ahead of themselves. So these are the qualities which you need when you want to go out and win championships. So, this really came out in the last game, and that was good to see. So I think the biggest challenge is to stay consistent, To me, that is the biggest challenge, is to reduce the gap between the good days and the bad days. I always say that, and that is the endeavor. And pretty much answering your question straightforward. And with this resources, what I have, I think, we can make an impact on the field as far as the difference between the fielding goes in the two teams.
Ground fielding and overall fielding is superb, but one area which is the direct throw, how you assess, compared to teams like Australia, how you assess the progress over the last few months or years? I think we are still lacking somewhere in the direct throw, hitting the wicket directly from the outfield.
That's a very good observation. It's a very good observation. That is something which I have my eye on as well, and we practice a lot for that. So I would say converting, whether it's a run out or not, converting 1 in 3 or 4 throws is a good conversion rate, in my opinion. Don't judge me on that opinion, but in my opinion, if you convert 1 out of 4, you're doing a good job as a direct hit unit. But we failed to do that in the last game. We had about 10 shies and we hit only once. But on some days you hit 3 out of 5. So that is, it's a practice thing and it's a situation based thing. But that is one area where we always work hard on in every session. And it's a good observation. We should maybe get better on that and get a couple in the next game.
So just a clarification on the previous thing. You said the fielders have been putting the team ahead of themselves. Do you mean in terms of whether going for glory catches, or in terms of, injuries or risking it?
Yeah, you answered your question. The second point you said, they were, willing to risk injuries to save that one run, which is a great quality to have.
Just taking off from his question on direct hits, there is a lot of criticism from former players on many teams of this modern era that fielders throw unnecessarily from the inner ring even when batsmen are inside. Is that something that is spoken about, that you have to throw probably to keep up the intensity, or how does that work?
See, if there is an opportunity, we encourage the respective fielder to go for the stumps, because we believe that his teammate will have his back by backing up the throw. Sometimes it happens, and very rarely it doesn't happen. So we encourage fielders to create an opportunity where none exists. We encourage fielders to try and convert an opportunity which they have created. So that is the route we would like to take as a fielding unit, to be more on the aggressive side, and that is, we all know where it comes from. It comes from the captain himself. So that is the kind of the cricket we want to play. That is a brand of cricket we want to play as a fielding unit. So we encourage that. And in the bargain, we lose a run here or there, it doesn't matter, because on a good day we'll pull off 2 or 3 brilliant run-outs. So, and also if you keep throwing at the stumps, it keeps your shoulder warm in conditions like this. If you don't throw and suddenly you get a chance for a run out, your throw may not be accurate. So these various factors are involved. So that's a brand of cricket we want to play.
What are the qualities you try to see in an outfielder? What are the qualities that decide who will be fielding in the outfield? You talked about Kohli, you talked about Vijay Shankar. What are the qualities you think an outfielder should have?
Yeah, we get to know a fair bit on their during their fitness tests. To anybody, the biggest quality you need to be a good outfielder obviously is a good arm, combined with good speed across the turf. So these are the two qualities you look for somebody who's fielding 70 yards away from the bat. So we have these fitness tests where we do their 40-meter run, 20-meter runs, so we know their timings. So we can easily make out who's quick. And then the arms, they play a vital role in deciding who fields in the outfield. So yeah, these two are the biggest qualities I probably would be looking at, and to have him on the outfield. When it comes to infield, obviously you're looking at speed and agility and ability to change directions, stuff like that, and your reaction time. But yeah, in the outfield, the two big qualities would be speed and strength in the shoulder, the throw.
Will you tell your fast bowlers to go easily, especially in the boundary lines, for the fear of them picking up immediately?
No going easy. This is the World Cup.
Just one question. You talked about Bumrah and Chahal. How do you try and get fielders that are not athletically natural fielders to be at the level at which they are? They've got everyone's back and they've got the area where they're protecting properly covered.
Yeah, one obviously is to educate them with the awareness aspect of fielding, and also we try and work on the fitness. Obviously, Basu, fitness coach, works a lot on their fitness as well. And we got enough time as a lead up to this tournament to work with Chahal, Bumrah, Kedar, and guys like this who themselves are willing to work very hard and to work on their skills. So that really helped. Bumrah is probably one of the hardest workers as far as fielding goes. From where he came when he joined the team in 2016 to what he is now, I mean, he's a massive improvement. Although still a work in progress, but it's a massive improvement. So the mindset of the players combined with the increased levels of fitness, and then we can chip in with the technical aspect of fielding and the awareness and the anticipation part. So combining all this definitely has helped them improve their fielding skills.
Sridhar, here at the back. As someone representing the Indian camp, I'd just like to know what is your opinion on having reserve days for a tournament like this?
There's a big technical committee in the ICC sitting for that. So they will take a call on that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It depends on the format, the time available. We don't have any day offs in this tour. If you say every day there is a game, so there's hardly an opportunity, I guess, to have a reserve day. I don't know. The technical committee of the ICC will decide that. It's not for me to take a call. Thank you.